IP down in Columbus has these rate increases for data centers because there's so many more in Columbus. So it exists in Columbus, to answer your question.
And it's actually happening.
It's actually happening in Columbus, which is the standing that PUCO is using to First Energy to say, you should do this too. You do this too. But it's not in place today, but it is coming into place.
Is there a strain, though, on the community with them getting the energy to you? I mean, do they have fallouts? Do they have...
Great question. Because I've heard this a couple times today. So I think to answer that question, it helps me to separate. There's different types of power, right? It's all one grid. So the power lines at your front road are lower voltage. These are very big, right? Different grid. So people that have a lot of outages sometimes have it for trees getting struck or squirrels running on them. These power lines don't really go on. Okay, so these two lines, First Energy did a study where we asked them, how much can we take without overloading the grid? Their answer was 150 megawatts and 600 megawatts with safeties built in, and that's what we're taking.
I thought the final number was 750 megawatts.
It is. 150 plus 600 is 750.
Okay.
So the first tranche, good question. So the first tranche of power is off this blue line, this 138 kV, 150 megawatts. The initial line exists today. This dash blue line is a line extension. New poles, new wire. That new poles, new wire is paid for by BitDeer, constructed by First Energy, maintained by First Energy. The substation, when it gets onto our property, that makes the big power smaller, paid for by BitDeer, owned by BitDeer, maintained by BitDeer. The second part of that, the red line, is the 600 megawatts. It exists today. Tapping off of it, it actually runs through the property. If you leave here, I'm going to scooch just a little bit here. It's up here at the top of the property. So if you were to leave here, turn left, you'll see them over your heads. So that can support 600 megawatts. Off of it is a new utility ring bus and a new customer-owned substation, paid for by BitDeer, maintained by BitDeer, private property.
So can the source handle that load?
It can.
In the current state?
Correct.
Okay. And there's no chance that BitDeer would need to supplement itself with diesel generators in the future?
Not supplement, they are there for emergency backup.
Only emergency backup?
Correct.
They will only run if there's an outage?
Correct.
And there cannot be an outage caused by BitDeer putting strain on the grid?
First Energy has dictated.
First
Energy has done the study.
Put in these buildings.
First Energy has done the studies.
And
First
I hear
Energy
you.
dictates how much power they can take.
I'm
Just like they
concerned.
dictate how much power you can take.
So PJM interconnection.
Correct.
Largest grid in Ohio, largest grid in the U.S. has specifically said that they are in an energy crisis and have specifically put the blame on data centers and given them the opportunity to install more diesel generators, which I don't think are subject to Clean Air Act laws. And so now those are just running 24/7 down in Virginia in that residential area.
So PJM.
So that
is who
won't
we're
happen
connecting-
here?
PJM is who we're connecting to.
Okay.
That's this line here.
Uh-huh.
PJM's grid may be strained globally. Northeast Ohio does not have as many data centers as Virginia. So I think some of the statements that you've made are sort of global overarching PJM statements. This study here was done by PJM on their
Appalachian PJM statements. It's not like they're, that far away.
No, for sure. Again, and I'm not discrediting what you're saying.
Okay.
Data centers do cause a strain on the grid.
Okay.
But again, the study was done where PJM said, because First Energy doesn't own this line, the red line, First Energy does not own.
Right.
First Energy owns the smaller voltage lines in front of your house, my house, and the blue line. So PJM dictates how much they will have.
Sure. And if there is a strain, if all this comes through, maybe the First Energy study was wrong, I don't know, if there is a strain, do Ohioans get to vote on the type of supplemental plant that would come in or the location? No. Okay. So they could put a gas plant or a nuclear plant in pretty much anywhere to supplement the line if they needed to.
No, not without regulations, right? If you're going to put up any structure on private property, it needs proper permits. So I think maybe our questions got confused because you asked, do people get to vote on it? The answer is no, it's private property. But your lawmakers and building codes dictate what can happen on individual property. So say the grid were as strange as you say it might be in. These things happen as you say they might. If they wanted to put on-site generation, it would need to come back through Shalersville Township to go through this exact same approval process for a permanent structure.
Would there be room? I'm sorry. Would there be room for solar energy on top of the building so that would help with the?
Shalersville has already said no solar, so they cannot use solar as an option here locally.
It will also takes a lot of heat to make buildings as far as
Oh my God, I was like, I saw like your profile.
They're not investing in solar.
I was like,
It's not
really
reliable
not,
enough for their use.